Much chillier in here.
All right, I'd like to call this meeting to order. First things first, the fire exits are just to my left here through this door, and then the door through which we all came in today. And could we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And can we do attendance, please?
Member Erdl. Here. Member Sprata.
Present.
Member Yarborough. Here. Member Menard.
Here.
And Acting Chairman Delaney.
Present. Whenever you're ready, we can do the first legal notice, please.
Please take notice that the Zoning Board of Appeals of the Village of Depew will hold a public hearing on August 25th, 2022 at 7 p.m. in the council chambers of the municipal building, 85 Manitow Street, Depew, New York, to consider the application of Allison Cordero for the property located at 2 Grant Street of Chapter 260, Subset 260, 14B1H, to allow them to construct a driveway within the required minimum setback of 3 feet to any interior, rear, or exterior property line, and such driveway does not project greater than 5 feet directly in front of the principal dwelling. A pre-board meeting will begin at 8:30 or at 6:30 p.m. in the OEM conference room of the municipal building, 85 Manitow Street, Depew, New York, and any and all persons interested in such application will be heard at this time.
Could the applicant please step forward and introduce yourself and tell us
I'm
what you...
Allison Cordero.
Okay. And tell us what you'd like to do.
Put in a driveway. I have an existing driveway, just putting in a new one because it's falling apart.
Okay. Now I know there were some concerns about the sidewalk. What?
I don't know why.
Okay. Or just which part you want to ask, Paul?
Yeah, you said you're going to replace 3 sections of sidewalk. Where are they? Are
Oh,
they
in the
ones that
front
are
of the
crumbled
house.
now?
Yeah, it's crumbled.
Not the ones next to the driveway, the ones in front of the house?
No,
Okay. That'll
It
be
needs
concrete?
it. It's all, yeah.
And
It's all concrete,
the
yeah.
new driveway will be concrete?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not changing at all. It's the same, whatever is there.
Okay.
Okay. We have questions from any of our board members. Member Menard?
The only question I would have about, I noticed that, or it was said that the driveway at the end is over the property line by a few inches, or the new driveway would have to be at the property line. It can't exceed, that would be the stipulation, where it
Well,
would,
like I said, it's going the exact same.
if it goes the exact same, it would probably be over the property line, am I correct?
Towards the street.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it needs to come back to the property line at the end. It can't be over the property line at the end of the driveway. It needs to come back.
I think what we're talking about is actually where it meets the corner of the house here. I believe it's where it's supposed to be at the beginning. It's at the corner of the house.
Okay, so, but
About a little over half a foot.
right, so it has, where, at the back of the house, not the front, I'm sorry. It has to come back to the property line, that half a foot it has to come back a half a foot to be on the property line, not over the property line. That is my only concern.
Okay.
Just tell your contractor to make sure they look at the survey and keep
with the property line. That's how you got the variance.
Is it right on the survey, what you're talking about? Is he gonna be able to see that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's on the survey.
That's how we saw it.
Yeah, that's how we see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So just tell him if it's a little over now, just,
Move
is
it.
he ripping up and pouring new?
No. Oh, he is. He hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah, so when he rips up and pours new, just tell him the new stuff has to be right on the property line. Make sure
Okay.
you mark it.
that's my only concern. Yep.
Member Sprata, any further questions?
In the wintertime, what do you do with snow removal?
Just shovel it off the driveway,
And if it's right at the property line, where do you put the snow?
over to the other side.
The other side, not
Yeah.
on your neighbor's property?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. Did you get, I talked to your neighbor, he's okay with that. Did you get any written affidavits from him saying it was okay or not?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Sorry, Member Sprata, do you have something further?
No.
Okay. Member Erdl, Member Yarborough? No. Okay. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns from code on this?
Nope.
Anything from legal?
Nothing, then, make sure you properly make the motion, approve with conditions, condition that you stay with the property line.
Right.
Otherwise, nothing from me.
Thank you.
Okay.
And, okay, so first things first, we are going to read off the 6 criteria for an area variance in New York State. As soon as I can find the page. These are questions you filled out as part of your packet, and I'm going to read them and your answers. Number 1, will an undesirable change be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties be created by granting of the area variance? You said no, and I would agree. Can the benefit sought by you, the applicant, be achieved by some other method other than an area variance? You wrote no, and that's true. Number 3, is the requested area variance substantial? You wrote no. What is the exact variance?
It's 3 foot from a property line.
Yep.
But most of it's pre-existing already, so it doesn't really change.
Didn't
Change
change.
much, so.
Okay. All right. So that'll be correct then. Number 4, will the proposed area variance have an adverse effect or impact the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district? You wrote no, and I would agree. Number 5, is the alleged difficulty self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the zoning board of appeals, but not necessarily preclude the granting of the requested area variance? You wrote no, I would say yes. And lastly, what is the minimum area variance deemed necessary and adequate? You wrote 0 feet to lot line, but that's about right.
Well, that's right, because it was over. Bringing it back to 0 would make it, you couldn't really go less than that because then you wouldn't be able to drive a
Right.
vehicle through there, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, we have a member willing to put forth a motion with, to grant or deny the variance with the condition that the driveway is level with the property line and not beyond it.
I'll make the motion.
Motion from member Yarborough. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded from member Sprata. And a roll call vote, please.
Member Sprata?
Yes.
Member Erdl?
Yes.
Member Yarborough?
Yes.
Member Menard?
Yes.
And Chairman Delaney?
Yes.
5 yes, variance granted.
Beverly?
Okay. So can he come in and get the permit now, or?
Yeah,
Yes.
talk to
Yeah.
Don.
Oh, okay.
Talk to her.
Yeah, just tell him to come in. I have your survey and stuff already,
Uh-huh.
so we know what's happening. You just come in and fill
And he
out the
can get it.
application. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and how long is this permit good for? Like once?
6
you get
months.
the-
Conditions.
6 months? Okay.
Going straight.
Alrighty.
And even if you need an extension in springtime,
You won't
it's half the permit fee, which I think is $25, extended for 6 more months.
Okay, yeah, I just don't know if he's gonna be able to get to it.
Until spring.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay?
No problem.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Please take notice that the Zoning Board of Appeals of the Village of Depew will hold a public hearing on August 25th, 2022 at 7 p.m. in the council chambers of the Municipal Building, 85 Manitow Street, Depew, New York, to consider the application of Mark Kobaleski for the property located at 117 Preston Street of Chapter 260, subset 260-23A2, to allow them to enclose a porch within the required 25-foot front yard setback.
See,
A pre-board meeting will begin at 6:30 PM in the OEM conference room of the municipal building, 85 Manitow Street, and any and all persons interested in such application will be heard at this time.
How you doing, sir?
all right,
Could you introduce yourself and tell us what you'd like to do?
Pardon me?
Could you introduce yourself and tell us what you'd like to do?
I'm trying to get the porch enclosed. I keep the birds out, the weather out, so I can, paint it and be done with it. Patio enclosures, I don't know, I asked them if they could show up here and represent their company, but yeah, how that goes.
Yeah. And the windows are gonna be glass?
The windows they're sliders on all three panels, and then there's gonna be a sliding door with the steps. It's all aluminum frame.
Yeah.
They're putting in a foam core knee wall, 32 inches, and then above that would be the windows with an aluminum frame.
Okay. All right, do any of our board members have questions? Member Menard?
Is this going to be an actual aluminum wall, or aluminum
Well,
panel, or is it going to be
they've got-
a wall with an aluminum panel on it and then windows on the wall?
My brother had it done at his house. He already had the knee wall. It's an aluminum frame, and the windows are built into this frame. Okay, they're attached to the structure all the way around.
So
Everything-
basically, the windows are a permanent part of the structure then?
They will be, yeah. It's gonna be sealed up. That's what I'm shooting for. Every year I gotta fight the birds, I gotta fight the weather,
Totally-
paint. It's
totally
overdue for paint now. I was wanting to get this wrapped up early in the summer, but here we are.
Any further questions, Member Menard?
No, okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
One thing I notice is the steps going up to that porch are on the side where your driveway is, so it doesn't encroach the front at all, correct?
I don't know, what do you mean, this 25 feet, you mean?
Yeah. the
No, it's
steps-
going off to my driveway.
Yeah, going
No,
to your driveway
This
to
must
the
be
side.
a new, they didn't get the memo back when they built these houses, because
Okay, so the steps will.
everything
be
on
in.
my side is
Yeah.
as far to the street as mine,
Yeah.
then most of those are enclosed. There's one house on the far end that has a little porch, coming out of the house. Well, you see it, the brick structure next to me that's,
That's a corner
on the
lot.
corner.
Yeah.
So this must be something, that they've come across over the years. I mean, that's been up there longer than I have.
Yeah,
It's 40 years, going back 40 years.
okay.
So, that's it. But the steps, they're gonna put vinyl railings. They're taking that wrought iron that you saw
Yeah,
out, and they're gonna attach vinyl rails to
Vinyl
those
railings.
concrete steps.
okay.
Any questions from Member Erdl, Member Yarborough? No. Any questions, comments, concerns from code? Legal?
Nothing from me.
All right.
So I can give them the green light whenever they start.
They got to vote. Hang on.
Oh, well,
First, before we do that, we're going to read off the criteria for an area variance in New York State. As part of the packet filled out. There are 6 of them. Number 1, will an undesirable change be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties be created by granting of the area variance? You wrote down that it will look better. Yeah.
much.
I agree, so that would be a no undesirable change. Number 2, can the benefit sought by you, the applicant, be achieved by some other method other than an area variance? You wrote no, and that's accurate. Number 3, is the requested area variance substantial, bless you? You wrote yes, and I would agree. Fourthly, will the proposed area variance have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district? You wrote no.
Birds will have to find another place to live.
You might be talking yourself into a yes here.
This year was really bad. They'd start building over the light on the porch, and I'd go out there about a half hour later, take it down. They'd be right back again, 15 minutes later. So finally, I built a thing with one of those spinners that spin in the wind. That eliminated the problem. Works good on the truck, too.
All right, number 5, is the alleged difficulty self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the zoning board of appeals, but not necessarily preclude the granting of the requested area variance? You wrote yes, and that's true. Lastly, what is the minimum area variance deemed necessary and adequate? You wrote 15 feet. Is that about right now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now, with that done, do we have a motion to grant or deny this variance as presented?
I'll make a motion to grant the variance as presented.
Motion made by Member Sprata to grant.
I'll second. Okay.
Member Erdl will say seconded that. And a roll call vote, please.
Member Sprata.
Yes.
Member Erdl.
Yes.
Member Yarborough.
Yes.
Member Menard.
Yes.
And Chairman Delaney.
Yes.
5 yes. Variance granted.
Congratulations.
Very good, Mark.
Where do I get the permit?
I come in tomorrow, well, maybe Monday. Are they coming in to file, or are you going to file it?
Well, that's,
Yeah, do we have a motion to close the hearing?
I make a motion to close.
Second?
I'll second.
Just come see me on Monday. Tomorrow. I'm really busy.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Great night, and,
Hearing's closed.
you know,
Thank you.
get started.
That was short.
Beautiful. No problem,
That
thank
was
you.
pretty easy.
Take care. Say hello to Rich.
Yeah, I
I
will.
have a fantasy draft from
Do you?
fantasy baseball mode, though. Here.